taking apart these units. I just put a vice grip on this. It's a 17, 15 for that nut. I'm gonna have to cut these little holders, but I ordered new ones. No clamp things to hold the two springs together, but I took pictures to make sure I put them right. But I mean, they should be basically the same. The only hardest part that I'm gonna have is I'm gonna burn this bushing out, and then this little sleeve thing here has to come out as well with the bushing. So I'm gonna cut them springs, but I was able to push this out and kind of put it back how it goes. So you got this little shim with the direction you need to point it, and then you got this one little shim with the little tabs on it, and then the one goes on top of the nuts. So I'm gonna keep it like that because I know that's how it goes with the 3 springs. I'm gonna save those for later. They have these were on the bottom of this last spring. I might put them back, but these are going all pink except for these, of course. So this one that I took off, that stud is bent as the fuck. You can see this won't even go down. It's kind of rusted too. So I'm not gonna worry about that. But I think what I'm gonna do is when I take the leaf springs that are on my truck currently, I'm gonna take these out. Cut them little tabs off. Like I said, and I can't use those anyway. And I guess I can just tap that out maybe. I don't know how that works. I bought leaf spring compressors that are gonna clamp it down. So what I did, they had them little ears on the side, and I'd cut them. But instead of I tried to beat it out a little bit from the top of the leaf, top of the leaf. Didn't really work, and it'll turn. I don't know if it'll maybe spin out. I don't think it's threaded, but I'm quite sure I could beat it out if I put it in a vise. But instead, I cut it flush on each side. And what I'm gonna do is when I get those new clamps, I'm gonna put that new clamp up against this clamp, meaning that this one's obviously gonna stay in place because it has that stud going through it. Butt it up against it, and then that way that clamp will be able to go up against it, won't move too much, and I'll clamp it down real good. But try not to cut into the leaf too much. All I got left to do is burn these bushings out. Once I burn the bushings out, I have to figure out how to take this little sleeve out. So at the Tower Tracks, at Tower Tracks, I ordered a new fuel pump because this one is fucked. I don't know what's wrong with it exactly, but it's fucked. So I got my new fuel pump here. Ordered a Quantum. It's the whole fuel pump assembly. And then I ordered a new fuel line because I had to. I lost this little green clip on the stock one, and I cut it to make it work. So this is the fuel pump. Comes with a new cap, which is nice because I fucked up my cap. And this one comes with this little filter type thing, which the one that I took out my bike, the stock one, if it was the stock one, didn't have in the first place. And then when I put it on my bike, didn't come with one either. So I'm gonna guess that could also be part of my problem, is that it didn't have like a filter. Maybe it was picking up trash and killing it. So it's got a filter at the pump, all the little hoses. Shouldn't have any problems. And all I gotta do is just plug it in. So this is that fuel pump. I got the oil line out. It wasn't too bad, a couple little clip things, but I'm about to put the new one in, new pump in, put that little gasket. And then put the cap. Should be good after that. So while I'm still waiting on these tie rod ends, because I just have the worst luck in tie rods and shit, I'm taking off this upper and I'm gonna get it repowdered, since when my castle nut came off, it fucked up the powder rubbing on the tire. So taking these off, I'm gonna have to push out the bushings and shit and somehow take off these grease fittings, but not a big deal, just to get it powder coated and get that to not look like shit and not rust and whatnot. So I took the fittings out, tapped these the metal bushing out with a 1/2 inch extension, just tapped them through this little hole in the tailgate. And then for these rubber bushings, I'm taking a screwdriver getting it in there and just kind of sliding it out. I got this side out. It's hard to get it one hand, but you get the point. Fucking slime, bro. You are fucking slime. Heck. You coming the fuck out. So for the small side, if you use a 30 millimeter, you can push it out. It'll fit perfect. This little sleeve. And the big side, I think it's a 34. You don't even see. I don't know what size this one is. I want to say it's a 34 though, for the big side. And you just get a slime drake to fucking beat them corners down. The flanges out. Just tap it out. Tip on it. So we finished pushing the other one out, the other sleeves out of this leaf spring. So I had cut them. I think I videoed it. I had cut the clamps that hold it on, and I'm thinking about getting a leaf, add a leaf from Lance from his lift to put under this leaf spring. I think is how it would be. It's a little shorter, if it'll work. If it's the same size here, you know, for that stud. I'm not worried about it though. I might go get it from later and see. But first leaf spring, second leaf spring, top leaf spring, and the new bushings I got from Raleigh's. Comes with bushings for the leaf springs, so 4, and it also comes with leaf springs or bushings for the shackles, drop shackles or stock shackles. Let's see. So this one is a bushing and it just has those metal inserts. So like all I have to do, like it's fucking easy to push in, obviously. A little powder is gonna be a little harder, but bang it on the ground, not a big deal. And then slide that metal insert in. I'm fixing to go drop these off at Powder and they're gonna do them for me this week while I'm working. And my truck is still on jack stands because I'm waiting on tie rods. Because so this is the tie rod that came with the lift. That other one had cracked, obviously, so this is the one that's good still. But I ordered these from FabTech because they have a bigger stud. So the stud fits in the spindle. But the problem is the female side of the tie rod end that goes into the inner tie rod is too big. The hole is way smaller. If you look at the two, this hole is way smaller, so we'll try to return these and then go from there. Still waiting on my shit from Kryptonite. I got the whole inner and outer from Kryptonite, but I'm hoping those come in soon. I gotta make them with some shit, and then everything's on back order, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Got the powder. Got Lance came bring me them leaf springs. I'm gonna powder them in case I want to use them. They go in the middle of the other ones, so I'm gonna powder all that, repowder that, and after that, I don't know if I'll put them on right when they come in. Just because like my truck's still on jack stands, I need wheels, but can for sure put that on though, remake my little stickers and whatnot. Those leaf springs that came with Lance's lift, it came with a longer stud, so that would be nice because I was having that problem with one of these being bent, so it's a little bit longer with the nuts, so I end up using that instead. So I'm gonna go drop that off right quick, get powder coated.
Okay, go. Oh, right on. Oh my God, Colin.